Okay, hello again, everyone. Nice to see you. It was great to have a Zoom talk with you in the live class last week. For this week, as I said in the message, we won't have a live Zoom class, but I'm going to talk through this video so you can go through it and watch the PowerPoint slides and listen to me explain it. I'll give you a chance to stop and think about a few of the questions and look at the answers yourselves. You'll be happy to hear there is no assignment for this week. We've had the last few weeks, and actually going into the following week for next week after this, next will be the midterm week. So we'll take a break from any submission this week, and then I'll send you the information about the midterm test next weekend. So this week, all you need to do is watch this video and listen along. I hope you do. It won't be too long. So just go through, pay attention, do your best, and the information today in the video will be useful for you later in the semester. So yes, please pay attention, do your best, and let's take a look at the video now. So I'm now going to share the screen again. Okay, I hope this works well. Okay, share. So now, let me go back, to the start. So this is the first page of the Unit 5 presentation. If I go here, hopefully you can see that on the whole screen. Oh, and still me there in the corner. Let me bring myself down. I think I won't make myself too big, but that's maybe not bad, so you can see me talking away. Okay, so obviously you can see this Unit 5, is talking about health and fitness. It's a good time to get healthy these days. I know it's a little bit hard to play sporting games with coronavirus. We're not meant to be meeting in large groups, but for everyone, it's a good time to eat healthy food, make your body strong. You know, there's a pandemic, there's a global virus going around, and people should get their bodies in the strongest condition to cope with this, just in case any of us get sick. So here we go. Let's keep looking. Health and fitness. So the contents for this week. Firstly, watching and understanding a video about the amount of sugar in food and drinks. Okay. Secondly, looking at supports for an argument. And finally, looking at how to structure an essay. The intro, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Okay, they're the main things we'll look at this week. Let's keep going. So now we're going to take a look at the video. I hope it's not too loud again, so just be ready to adjust your volume down or maybe even up, because I've turned the volume down a little bit. Let's take a look together. So please listen carefully and do your best.
6.5 pounds. That is the average monthly adult consumption of total sugars. Some of it comes naturally from the ingredients in our food, but a proportion is added by manufacturers. Now, the labels don't differentiate, so we've done some of our own research. We found an Alpine Trail bar has 4 teaspoons of sugar, of which almost a third is added. A Nestle Munch Bunch drink has 3 teaspoons of sugar. We found more than 2/3 of that was added. This Quaker Oats So Simple porridge with fruits has 4.5 teaspoons of sugar when made up with milk, and the company won't disclose how much of that is added. Manufacturers say labels are governed by EU rules, not their decisions, but the food industry is under pressure to reduce sugar. Sainsbury's says it's just reformulated some of its juices, but like other supermarkets, it's reluctant to act faster. There's a widespread suspicion that the industry uses so much sugar because it's a cheap ingredient and it makes products palatable.
When you remove any food component that delivers flavour, you've got to do it slowly and gradually, so you train the customer's palate to accept that change.
But change is coming, and campaigners are pinning their hopes on tomorrow's official report on sugar.
We would be delighted to see a really good, strong recommendation from the Scientific Advisory Board, ideally saying that sugar intake should be reduced to less than 5% of your daily energy intake.
Okay, there we go. It's the end of the video. Let me just get out of that somehow. Okay, oops, yep. Don't start again. Good. Okay, so I hope you could follow that okay. Of course, if you want to, you can go back in the video and watch that again if it's a little bit hard to catch the first time. I couldn't get the subtitles working. I'm sorry for that, but I'm going to put this on YouTube, so maybe, hopefully, the subtitles will come up on YouTube. Okay, so let's take a look. So discussion questions. What information do you think food manufacturers should have to put on their labels and why? And question 2, do you think that scientific advice makes a difference to what people choose to eat and drink? Give some examples. So I'll give you a minute to think about those questions, then we'll discuss in just a second. So maybe pause your video and have a think. Okay, back again. So what information do you think food manufacturers should have to put on their labels and why? So I guess personally, it's all about finding out what products and ingredients are in the food. Obviously, sugar and fat content are not that healthy. I think the consumer, the person buying something, has every right to know what's in there. Obviously, I think manufacturers are more willing to put on healthy information about vitamins and minerals that are in their food. So also, I think that's good information for people. And as you know, many foods these days contain different chemicals, different additives, flavoring and coloring. And I think, to be honest, people, when they buy something, should be able to know everything that is contained in that food. Okay, question 2. Do you think that scientific advice makes a difference to what people choose to eat and drink? Give some examples. Well, possibly for some people, of course, if people are careful and check the information thoroughly and so on. An example I can give, well, to be honest, I think most people don't really pay much attention to the scientific advice about the ingredients and the health and nutrition information for foods. People can generally see if a food is going to be unhealthy and, you know, they're going to buy it anyway, if that's what they want to eat. And one example that I remember, in McDonald's, they often have some health and nutrition information booklets that are available in the restaurants, if you can call McDonald's a restaurant, the fast food chain. And I've seen these nutrition booklets many times, and on the cover of them, of course, they show lettuce and tomatoes and, you know, the only, you know, healthy foods that are contained in small amounts in McDonald's burgers. And they want to make it look like, you know, there's some healthy things there. I've had a look through some of the information, and when, you know, it should be no surprise when you look at the nutrition of a Big Mac, it's terrible. High fat content, you know, a large number of calories, very few vitamins and minerals. Again, I don't think people are shocked to find out that McDonald's is not healthy, but just when they give the advice in some booklet, they of course try to emphasize the good, healthy side and, you know, try to mislead the consumer. But I think in summary, I don't think the scientific advice makes much difference to many people. People choose what they eat for many different reasons. Of course, taste, convenience, and different things. And yeah, anyway, I would hope that most people, when they go shopping, choose to buy some healthy products. And I think in Korea, people generally eat far more healthy foods at home, certainly compared to many Western countries. But in Korea, many newer and more Western restaurants are appearing with less and less healthy food, or I should say more unhealthy food. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so reading, let me move my face down the bottom a bit. Okay. So from page 111 in the book, you can look at the book if you want, but again, all of the information is here. So you can see, I will read this now. Obesity has become a major problem in many parts of the world. You know, obesity, people becoming too fat. Obesity has become a major problem in many parts of the world. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, in 2016, about 13% of adults, both male and female, were obese. Moreover, the percentage of obese people increased by 300% between 1975 and 2016. Obesity can cause major health problems like heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and breathing problems. Tackling obesity is a big task. Whose responsibility should it be? Although some people say it is up to individuals to manage their own weight, others believe governments should take the lead by making laws designed to help reduce the obesity problem. Again, if you ever want to check some vocabulary, you can just pause here and check some of the difficult words. But let's keep going. I need to move myself again. I'm moving around. All right, still on page 111. On the one hand, many people insist that individuals are the ones who need to take the major responsibility for controlling their own weight. Supporters of this position have explained how we can do this. First, we can control the size of portions we eat. How much? An average man needs around 2,500 calories per day, while an average woman requires around 2,000. Moreover, we should learn how to eat a balanced diet consisting of a variety of foods in order to maintain a healthy weight. In many Western countries, for example, a typical healthy diet might include approximately 50% fruit and vegetables, 30% carbohydrates, such as bread, rice, potatoes, and pasta, 15% proteins, for example, meat, fish, eggs, and beans, and around 5% dairy products, for example, milk and cheese. Next, we all need to read the nutritional information on food packaging. This would help us to control our intake of unhealthy ingredients like sugar and saturated fats and make intelligent food choices. And finally, each of us should make time to exercise because, as we all know, exercise burns calories. Okay, continuing. On the other hand, some people insist that individual efforts to control obesity often end in failure. They argue that the government should take the lead in fighting obesity. They propose a number of measures. First, many countries already have laws requiring nutritional information on packaged foods. Supporters of this law think large restaurant chains should also list calorie counts, as well as the amount of cholesterol on their menus. This information can help customers choose low-calorie, nutritious food, even when they are not cooking at home. Next, many people support a tax on foods which are high in fat and sugar, such as pizza, crisps, chocolate, and sweets. Crisps are potato chips. Such a tax would make junk food too expensive for people to buy in large quantities. Finally, many people strongly believe that governments should support educational campaigns to encourage people to eat a low-calorie, balanced diet. I'm sorry. Such campaigns would be similar to the anti-smoking campaigns that have helped reduce the number of smokers all over the world. Continuing on page 111, in conclusion, there are strong arguments for governments and individuals taking increased responsibility for tackling the obesity crisis. In my opinion, both parties have a role to play in dealing with this global problem. Government should pass new laws and provide education to encourage people to choose healthier lifestyles. At the same time, individuals have to make more responsibility, maybe have to take more responsibility, for their meal choices and choose healthier foods and smaller portions. If we really wish to see an end to the problem of obesity in the future, individuals and governments must both take action. Okay, here are some discussion questions again. So, which is more important for good health, a regular exercise program or a balanced diet, and why? Many people work hard and get a lot of exercise in their jobs, but they are still obese. Why do you think that happens? 3, do you think that advertising for junk food should be illegal? Why or why not? And number 4, do you agree that governments should tax products that are bad for our health, or do you think that people should be free to make their own decisions? Take a moment to look at these again, and we'll discuss again in just a minute. Okay, let's keep going. I'll go back to the screen. Okay, good. So I hope you had a chance to think about the questions. Let's quickly look at some discussion. Let me give you my opinion. Which is more important for good health, a regular exercise program or a balanced diet, and why? Well, obviously, I think both are important. I prefer not to have to choose only one, but one point I will make, even from personal experience, when trying to maintain a healthy weight, when people say, going on a diet to try and lose weight, I have realized myself that even with a lot of exercise, I have run a few full course marathons in the past and have done a lot of exercise. But if you're eating unhealthy food, you don't really lose weight. You can exercise a lot and still gain weight, and you can, it's possible to be obese even though you exercise a lot, because the diet, meaning the food you eat, the food choices you make are probably more important for your body condition. Exercise is very important, of course, but it should be combined with a healthy, nutritious diet. Yeah, so to be honest, if I had to choose only one of these, I think a good, healthy diet is actually maybe more important than a regular exercise program. But as I said, if possible, I try to include both. Number 2, many people work hard and get a lot of exercise in their jobs, but they are still obese. Yeah. Why do you think that happens? Well, as we said, here it's talking about working hard and getting a lot of exercise in their jobs. Okay. So anyway, this means very physically active people can still be obese. As I said, even if you do lots of physical activity, if you make poor food choices, bad choices. If you eat a lot of fatty food, a lot of sugary food, you can easily still gain weight. And some people eat too much and eat late at night, and there are many poor dietary decisions people can make. I think, you know, in Korea, when people say diet, people usually think of trying to lose weight. In English, that is to go on a diet. But the word diet, actually, the pure meaning is just your food intake. You can have a good diet or a bad diet. It just refers to the food you eat. So even if you exercise a lot and you have a bad diet, bad food choices, definitely people can still become obese. Okay, so number 3, do you think that adverts for junk food should be illegal? Why or why not? Oh, that's a tricky one. I don't think they should be illegal. Obviously, I believe that companies have a right to promote their products. Possibly there could be some government restrictions on advertising for bad food. I would possibly say that there should be restrictions on advertising for junk food during children's television shows. Obviously, kids are too young to understand, you know, the information and make good choices for themselves. And I know definitely lots of bad food, you know, companies, junk food companies, deliberately target children because they know if the kids want junk food, they will bother their parents. They will pester their parents to force their parents to give them some junk food to make the kids shut up, which I kind of understand. But maybe I think advertising junk food during kids' TV programs maybe should be, if not illegal, at least restricted. But for adults in the evening, during adult programs, I don't believe it should be illegal, but maybe there should be some guidelines to make sure the information is accurate. And yeah, you know, I believe in healthy eating, and I'd like to see far more promotion of good eating habits. Unfortunately, in the modern world we live, there's too much advertising for unhealthy things. Yeah, anyway, I'd like to see that decline, but I don't think making it illegal is really possible. As I said, maybe just some restrictions, especially for kids shows. Do you agree the government should tax products that are bad for our health? Or do you think that people should be free to make their own decisions? Right, again, interesting. Yeah. Well, I kind of don't believe in excessive government taxes, and, you know, companies would be upset if taxes were placed on different products, and it's difficult to, well, someone would need to decide within the government, and health experts should be involved. Maybe it's not a bad idea for the health of a nation. It would take pressure off the national health services. If people are healthier, it would save money for governments, and it would make the population, you know, in a better shape. So maybe it's possible that governments could tax unhealthy products, but I think it's a fairly difficult decision. If you start doing that, then where do you stop taxing different products? You can start taxing, you know, many different things that are decided to be bad for you. Do you tax computer games? Do you tax? Where do you stop? So I don't really support that, to be honest. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we're now going to look at ways to support an argument. So, supporting an argument when you plan a balanced opinion essay. So of course, balanced is looking at the good points, the bad points, pros and cons. It's good to make a list of arguments. So list ideas for and against each argument. This will help you think about your own opinions and how you will support your position. A balanced opinion essay must include arguments which support each side of the issue. Yep, you need to show all the different opinions, not just a one-sided argument. Be sure to support your arguments with specific details, facts, examples, reasons, personal experience, etc. Such details will make your argument stronger. Yep, so these are good points. Again, take a minute, have a quick read of those again so you understand. You can pause the video briefly if you want to read through those again more carefully. Okay, but we're going to move on. So here's an example. But, oh, sorry, let me move myself again. Okay. University should require students to take physical education class. Okay, interesting. So on the left side, as we look at the screen, it's got the arguments for, means positive arguments in favor of this. And on the right side, arguments against, arguments that are anti this opinion. So you can see there's an example on the left side. A positive argument, exercise decreases stress. Excuse me. And on the right side, arguments against, students are busy and physical education classes reduce study time. So here again, take a quick look and try to think of 2 or 3 more opinions that are positive and negative for each argument. Okay, let's go back again. Share the screen. Alrighty, did you have a chance to think about a few of these things? If you haven't prepared yet, pause this for a minute and write down a few options and think of some good arguments for and against this argument. So I'll give you a few minutes if you want to stop again. Not a few minutes, a few seconds, yeah. So now let's have a look. So I wrote down a few quick things. Arguments for, obviously, you know, if students become more healthy, it's good for everyone. It's good for the students to be healthy. It'll reduce people being sick and missing classes. It's better for everyone if you have a healthy and fit group of students at the university. An argument against, if everyone is required, if every student is required to take the classes, there might be a lack of facilities. It may not be possible to arrange classes for everyone. So there could be some practical issues that are kind of impossible to solve. Another positive I wrote down is like good chance to meet new people. A lot of people just spend time in their major with their group of friends. If you take a kind of physical education class for every student, you can maybe mix and find new friends and make new relationships, which again is very much an important part of university life. Another argument against is, again, if there's some weather problems, if it's raining or snowing in Korea, or if it's, you know, getting close to summertime and if the weather's too hot, then it can cause, again, some kind of problems. If people are overheating, that's, you know, that people can have problems, can become, you know, get some heat stroke. Or again, if the weather's very bad with rain or snow, you won't be able to go outside, and I'm sure there wouldn't be enough space in the gym for all of the students to take all these classes. Another argument for positive, a good chance to develop good knowledge and skills that you can use for your life. So, you know, being healthy is clearly, people always say the most important thing is your health. And most people have a pretty good understanding of what you need to know. But if you could take a physical education class and learn good exercise routines, eating habits, stretching activities, and you can do it regularly, you could make that a part of your life, which you could continue forever, which is, you know, something that a lot of people kind of forget to do and stop doing. So that might be a good chance to build some good healthy habits that you can use for a long time. One other argument against the last one, just again from a practical point of view, some students may be less able to participate. There are some students with some disabilities or some physical issues, or if a student, you know, breaks their leg or has some problem, then of course they wouldn't be able to participate in these classes. So they'd have to get some special permission to have a unique class just for them, or some special training, or permission not to attend the classes. There's just a few problems that could occur, you know, in that way. Okay, hope you came up with some good reasons yourselves, arguments for or against physical education classes at university for everyone. Let's keep going. So here, okay, another example. So on page 115, part 1, you can look back at paragraph 3 of reading 2 on page 111. In your own words, complete the list of arguments the author gives and the details she uses to support this position. So you can see here, position, governments must take the lead in fighting obesity. Argument 1, supporting detail. Yep, argument 2, argument 3. So take a look here, and I'll give you a minute or two to go back and have a look at paragraph 3 of reading 2, and we'll come back in a minute and look at the suggested answers. All right, did you have a chance to take a look? Let's go back and share the screen again. Okay. Yeah, so you can either go back in the video, go back and check the reading. You know, we went through the reading just a little bit earlier from page 111, yeah, paragraph 3 of reading 2, or you can take a look in your book if you want to. I've got my textbook here as well, so it's easier for me to check this while I'm giving you my suggested answers. So in the paragraph itself, it starts, on the other hand, some people insist that individual efforts to control obesity often end in failure. They argue that governments should take the lead in fighting obesity. So the main position is, as it says, governments should or must take the lead in fighting obesity. That's the position. Then it makes 3 main arguments, and each argument has some supporting details. So the first argument, it's easy to spot in the reading because it says they propose a number of measures, which means arguments. Then first, which means argument 1. First, many countries already have laws requiring nutritional information on packaged foods. So the first argument is laws requiring nutritional information on packaged foods. That's it. And then the supporting details, it says, supporters of this law think large restaurant chains should also list calorie counts as well as the amount of cholesterol on their menus. This information can help customers choose low-calorie, nutritious food, even when they are not cooking at home. So this is the supporting detail. Restaurants should include calorie counts, how much cholesterol. They should give the information so that customers can read and check and find out what the content of the food is when they're in a restaurant. So that's it. That's the first one. Argument 2, the reading is pretty easy. Here's the book. The reading says, next, means argument 2. Next, many people support a tax on foods which are high in fat and sugar, such as pizza, crisps, chocolate, and sweets. So the second argument is a tax on foods which are high in fat and sugar. So the supporting details, such a tax would make junk food too expensive for people to buy in large quantities. So argument 2 is the tax on foods that are high in fat and sugar. The supporting argument is if there was a tax on junk foods, it would be too expensive for most people to buy regularly. Good. And the last argument, finally, introduces argument 3. Finally, many people strongly believe that governments should support educational campaigns to encourage people to eat a low-calorie balanced diet. So the last argument is educational campaigns. The government should support educational campaigns. And the supporting detail is similar to the anti-smoking campaigns that have helped reduce the number of smokers around the world. These campaigns would work in the same way as anti-smoking campaigns. So if there was education campaigns from governments, it would help reduce the number of people eating bad food if they understood and had more good information. So, okay, you can fill those details. If you need, you can rewind the video here and check that information. It's all in the reading. You can check in the book or you can go back in the video and have a look. So yeah, it's of course paragraph 3 from reading 2 on page 111. So again, the main point here is when you make a position, you are arguing your main point. Your position is governments must take the lead in fighting obesity. Then you have 3 arguments, and each argument to justify your position includes some supporting details. Excuse me. Okay, good. Let's keep going. So we're getting close. Essay structure, take a look on page 120. An essay is a series of connected paragraphs that discuss one main topic. Essays have 3 important parts. It's pretty easy. The introduction, an introductory paragraph presents the topic, gives background information, and shows the organization of the essay. The last sentence of the introductory paragraph gives a thesis statement, which explains what the body paragraphs will be about. The body paragraphs, these explain or develop a thesis statement. Each body paragraph starts with a topic sentence that links back to the thesis statement. They also provide supporting details to its topic sentence. So after the topic sentence, you give supporting details. In a balanced opinion essay, the writer must explain both sides of an argument, good points and bad points. And then the conclusion. Of course, the conclusion restates the thesis statement and provides the writer's own thoughts on the topic. The conclusions should summarize both arguments, state the writer's opinion, and may conclude with a prediction about the future or a recommendation for action. Okay, so you can stop and check and have a look at all those things in as much detail as you like. The final section is actually, you can see here, there are just some discussion questions, and just take a look at these. Unfortunately, if we were in class, I would give you a chance to break into small groups and discuss these. It's a little bit more difficult. Actually, it's much more difficult being online. Before the next Zoom class, I'm going to upgrade my Zoom to include some options to have breakout rooms where I can actually get people discussing in some smaller groups. So in the next class, we might have some smaller discussions, but for today, take a look at these questions, have a think about it, see what you think, and I might ask you a few of these questions next time when we chat on Zoom. Okay, that's enough for today. Very good. So, as I said, it's very disappointing that there's no assignment this week. I'm sure you're so sad. Yeah, I can feel it. You're at home cheering. So no assignment this week. Please check this video carefully. Go back and have a look at anything that you're not sure of. The essay structure is important. We're going to use that later in the semester. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So then I'll send you the YouTube link. So then you can hopefully see the subtitles, the captions, so you can read at the bottom while I'm speaking. I try to speak as clearly as possible so it's not too confusing, but it's of course easier if you have some subtitles to read along with. Okay, so let me go back, stop sharing the screen. Let's go back to me. You want to see me full screen? Hi. Good to see everyone again. Well, nice to talk to you. And I look forward to chatting to you again on Zoom in a few weeks. Have a nice week. Good luck with everything. Keep safe and healthy. Enjoy the video. And yeah, for next week, I will introduce all the information you need about the midterm test. Sorry about that. It's necessary. So until next time, keep safe, study hard, enjoy your life. Talk to you soon. Bye.